Okay, so thank you for everyone joining us today. Today we are going to allocate only 1 hour or little less. We are not going to do a detailed work today, but today is just to share with you and you can give your views about the SCS game for the August 2026. SCS game for the August 2026. How I look at it is you and me, both of us together, we have a project to be achieved. The project that we are going to achieve is passing SCS case study, all of you all, in August 2026, which means there are things that I should be doing and there are things that you should be doing. Both of us got our list of work and we need to work together and achieve it. Now, before we think about the work that needs to be done, before we argue about the work that we need to do together, what are the biggest challenges that we have? When you and me try to work together, what are the biggest challenges that we have? One of the biggest challenge that we have is you guys are working professionals. You all have a full-time job. You have enough things that are happening at the family front. So you are kind of restricted in the timing. So that the biggest challenge that we have, we need to address it together. We need to address it together. So there are things that I can do from my side, and there are things that you need to do from your end. Things that I need to do from my side are, there are things that I need to do to help you. There are things that I need to do to help you. Antonio, I'm sure others can hear. You can log out and log in. Sometimes it works when you do that. Others, please confirm you can hear me. Right. So basically, what I should be doing to ensure that you can manage your time, right? What I should be doing what I should be doing to you can manage your time, right? Uh, I am concerned. I am concerned that you are busy. Therefore, we will not be giving any work where you need to study a document entirely and come back for the session. Even as homework, during the entire session, we'll not be telling you, look here, these are 30-page document, please go through and come back. We won't do that. We will try to either do a summary video on that so you can watch the video, or I'll try to complete that topic in the live class, because I am concerned that you have the time issue. I will adjust myself as Nanaska to support that, which means not giving too much work for you to do on your own. But at the same time, there are things that you need to do. Coming for the online sessions is a must. Coming for the live sessions is a must. Well, when there are, let's say, 13, 14 live sessions available, you will obviously miss 2 or 3, you can miss. That I understand. But you can't make it a practice. You need to come for the live session. The few that you miss, that's okay. You got to watch the recorded version available. You got to watch the recorded version available. I am concerned that you guys are working professionals. Therefore, you have jobs, you have work to be done, time allocation. We will be flexible, but you need to commit the time that we agreed to commit. Right? The industry that is available sometimes is a challenge. This time the industry is not something very well known, but that challenge we are successfully ready to manage, because this time the industry is a company that is manufacturing 3D printers. The company that is manufacturing 3D printers. So you might take it as a challenge. You might say, look here, industry is not very kind of not a simple, straightforward industry. Don't worry, we have already covered you in that. Don't worry, we have already covered you in that. So what is this 3D printing? I mean, what is this 3D printing industry, right? So I'll start with my experience in the 3D printing industry. At Danko Tour, we are manufacturing plates, cups, mugs, saucers, teapots, and so on. In the entire, not only Dankuto, in the entire porcelain industry, sample item is usually 3D printed. Sample item is usually 3D printed. The beauty of this 3D printing is, whenever I need to do a sample, we don't have the capacity to build it through the normal process. Why we don't have capacity to build it through normal process? If I go through the normal process of manufacturing a, let's say, new design of a plate, right? Then I need to do a mold to manufacture that plate. For me to do a mold, it will take time. After I do the mold, I need to manufacture one plate in my large machines, because my machines are there to manufacture 100,000 pieces. But doing a new design of plate, I can't go through that normal manufacturing process. So new design of the plate, what we do is we 3D print that plate. Right? We 3D print that plate. Now that, how does the 3D printing work? 3D printing is what you call, so I mean, if you have not seen the 3D printing before, I'll explain in a simple way. It is layer by layer printing. First of all, you print first layer, second layer, third layer, fourth layer. Likewise, layer by layer, the product will get printed from a machine. So it is not a complicated process. It is not a complicated process, therefore. Layer by layer, we print a product. So now we can of course watch some videos of how it is being done when you start the sessions. But in the porcelain industry, sample item, not the bulk, sample item we manufacture from a 3D printing machine. Now, of course, usually this is happening when the design is entirely new. So just to get a quick idea about it, not a detailed idea, quick idea about it, because I think we will go for the detailed idea when you start the session. But it is something like this. Now look at these designs. If you want one piece, they can't be manufactured in our normal machine. These designs are very complicated. Look at this design, very complicated. So that is why we are using a 3D printed machine. So in a 3D printed machine, it is called the layer by layer printing. So can you see? Layer by layer, you started to build the product. These are ceramic 3D printing machine available. There are so many 3D printing machines available, but there is a ceramic 3D printing machine available. You fill first layer, second layer, third layer, and go on. Right? So now what I am trying to tell you is, I am using the 3D printing in the industry that I have been working for last 7 years. The industry that I worked before, which is apparel, Sri Lanka, there is a gentleman called Nisanga Varnapura. Nisanga Varnapura 3D printed the first wedding dress in Sri Lanka some 15 years ago. Nisanga Varnapura and his team, his company of course, 3D printed the first wedding dress in Sri Lanka. They 3D printed the first wedding dress in Sri Lanka. Right? So I have used the 3D printing in both the industries. Now there's a video that I have done with the Nisanga. There's a video that I have done with Nisanga Varnapura. That is for you to understand the industry. Anyone who has seen that video? Anyone who had seen at least that there's a video like that? No one, right? That video will be there for you to watch in our LMS when you join. That will give you a very practical approach to 3D printing. In that video, Nanaska is telling, it's about 45 minutes video towards the end. He's saying he has a 3D printer at home. When there's a small part is broken in his washing machine, he will 3D print at home and plug it in. So some people are using 3D printing as a very much a day-to-day matter. Nanaska Varnapura is a guy who had been in the industry. Therefore, he is doing that at his home. Now, we don't do that. I don't have a 3D printer at my home. If I want to buy things, I'll have to go to Arpico and buy. But he 3D prints small parts at home. Now, there'll be one fine day, we will 3D print everything that we want at home. Not everything, but most of the things. We will 3D print most of the things that we want at home. Forget the 3D printer. Take the normal printer. I mean, I don't know whether you remember, your parents will remember, earlier, if you want to print something, you got to go to a central point. I mean, if you want to print a paper, you go to a normal central point in the city and get your paper printed. Now you print everything at home. It becomes very, very normal. You print papers like whenever you want it, you print it. The 3D printing will go in that direction one fine day. Now, if you don't trust me, take the normal examples of that is happening. The car manufacturers are manufacturing 3D printed parts. Aircraft manufacturers are manufacturing 3D printed parts. Some of the airports, like Heathrow in London, close to that airport, there is a Boeing, the aircraft manufacturer, their 3D printing center is available. So when the aircraft need a small part, they don't need to wait for that part to come from the Boeing head office. The Heathrow Airport will update the Boeing head office that this part is needed. They will instruct the 3D printing center close to the airport to print it and go and give it to the airport. Flight is there at the airport. So there are the largest aircraft manufacturers are using some of the parts that are 3D printed. Car manufacturers are manufacturing some of the spare parts 3D printing. Now, the beauty of the aircraft manufacturers and car manufacturers who are doing the 3D printing, beauty is when you 3D print, the weight is very less, the strength is high. Weight is less. For aircraft, there's a big advantage. I mean, the parts of the aircraft, if they are heavy, you need more fuel. So therefore, 3D printing is happening in the aircraft manufacturing industry, vehicle manufacturing industry, heavily. 3D printing is happening in the aircraft manufacturing industry, vehicle manufacturing industry, heavily. There one of the universities in Israel is manufacturing a 3D printed heart to be used on 3D printed heart that is functioning. 3D printed heart that is functioning. Israel is doing that. On the very first day or the second day, I'll explain to you. Israel is a country where technology is at a very high level. Right? So in Dubai, the regulations were passed last year on the 3D printing building construction. There's a building that was 3D printed in Dubai. There's a building that is 3D printed in Dubai. Heart tissues. This is about the heart tissues.
1 in 100 US kids are born with a heart defect. That's why scientists in this Stanford lab are working on an innovative new technique to 3D print heart tissue that could give those kids longer and healthier lives. 3D printers are changing the way we build just about everything, from our cars to our homes, even our food. But can they recreate one of the most crucial and complex human organs?
It sounds ambitious, it is ambitious, but we believe that a lot of the basic building blocks to go ahead and start a project like this are in place.
Dr. Mark Schuyler Scott and his team of bioengineers are using advanced 3D printing techniques to turn a paste made of living cells into actual heart tissue. The goal? To one day be able to print crucial pieces of the heart, like valves and ventricles, that are living and can actually grow with a patient.
For adults, we have donor organs that can last 20, 30 years after transplantation, which if you're a 60 or 70-year-old adult is almost as good as a cure. But if you're a child at the age of 2 needing a transplant, knowing that after 20, 30 years your transplant may be rejected by an immune reaction, then this is not long enough.
The concept of printing living tissue isn't new. It's called bioprinting, but it can be a slow process.
If you truly want to recapitulate everything about an organ, one might think about the need to write.
Right. So I'll not spend a lot of time because today is the introduction only, but they're 3D printing hard. The video that I showed you, the Stanford, but Israel started it before. So 3D printing has become very, very common in the real world. There are 3D printed chocolates that can be eaten, by the way. That can be eaten. But so why do you 3D print a chocolate? Because the shape of the chocolate, design of the chocolate is very, very unique. Shape of the chocolate, design of the chocolate is very, very unique. So you might have a 3D printer at home, chocolate 3D printer. Depending on the party that you have, you print chocolates that are in different shapes, in different colors, and you serve your guests. Now, we might think, wow, is it possible? We should watch the video of Nisanga, where he's 3D printing different spare parts at his house that are needed for his house. So therefore, industry looks like a challenge. But we have taken care of that. Which means we have now, I have added advantage about this industry, which I agree, because I've been working with many 3D printing companies all over the world for last many years. Therefore, I'm very thorough about the industry, which is the added advantage, but it's very, very common out there in the world. I think Dubai had 3D printing building, the first 3D printing building, and the last year they passed the regulations of what are the regulations available for the 3D printing buildings. So if you would like to quickly see the 3D printing building in Dubai, we'll spend only 1 more minute on that. My message is, industry is a concern. We are taken care of that. Don't worry. So I'll not spend a lot of time because today is only an introduction. So industry is usually said to be a concern, but this time we have taken care of that. I have been in the industry for many years, very, very familiar. We have spoken to many 3D printed manufacturers all around the world, So industry is not a problem. Sure. So you are working somewhere, time is a concern. I will do a lot of work on that to ensure that your time is not wasted. You need to ensure you come for the live sessions. The second challenge is most likely to be the industry, which we have taken care of. So what are we going to do in the course? When you join the strategic level case study for the August 2026, what are we going to do? We will start with the KYP and we'll start with the KYI. Those are the first two things. Those are the first two things what we will do. What are the first two things? KYP and KYI. KYP is know your pre-sale. KYI is know your industry. I will not spend a lot of time on the industry document, but I will spend a lot of time on the KYP, know your pre-sale document. So what does it look like? This is what it looks like. KYP. So you can't, the reading the pre-sale is little boring. So you don't need to kill your time on the pre-sale. Instead of, we will go through the KYP in the live session. Right? So you will get now this is a 3D printer. Right? And in the KYP, you will enjoy it because we have given a summary of it. 3D printing is called additive manufacturing. What the hell is additive manufacturing? It means the layer by layer printing. You are printing layer by layer. But what do we do? Don't forget, what do? We are manufacturing 3D printers. So we are a company that is manufacturing 3D printers. So if you technically look at what our operation is, manufacturer and selling the range of 3D printers to the customer specification. We are manufacturing and selling 3D printers. Unfortunately, we are not selling 3D printers for your house. You want a 3D printer for your house? We don't do it. We manufacture 3D printers for companies like BMW, a car manufacturer. They will buy a 3D printer from us and they will use it for their customers. So we are manufacturing the 3D printers based on customer specification for the B2B market, as well as selling the material supplies needed to operate the machine. Now, for your 3D printing machine, you need unique materials to be used. Now, I hope you are not having a lot of hopes on the 3D printing. Now, don't think that you can have one small machine at home and in the morning it will manufacture a mug for you, and during lunchtime it will manufacture a burger for you. Tea time it will manufacture a chocolate for you. In the evening it will manufacture your spare part for your cars. Don't have that hopes, right? Because 3D manufacturing machines are specific to the raw material. The 3D printing manufacturing machine that will manufacture chocolate can't manufacture spare parts. That you understand, right? So once we manufacture the 3D printing machines for BMW, we will sell the machine. After we sell the machine, now they need raw material for the machine. We are selling them the raw material as well. So that's the main business of ours. But the beauty here is we also offer consultancy to help clients to choose the most appropriate printer for their needs. So we are doing consultancy on the most appropriate 3D printing machine for them. We are selling the machines globally. Please realize we are not a small 3D printing manufacturing machine, 3D printing company. We are a fairly large 3D printing company, in the sense we are one of the 8 largest manufacturers of 3D printers in the world. So we are a large 3D printing manufacturer for the world. Now, what am I trying to show you? I am trying to show you the KYP. These are the document that we will work as the step number 1. Now, this is called additive manufacturing. Step 1, step 2, step 3. Do you understand? Layer by layer, you started to print any item that you want. Provided you have the right 3D printer, you can technically print any item that you want. So you have the printer, my dear. You have the printer. But having the printer is not good enough. No, printer won't know what you want to get printed. That is exactly why you need to have the designing arm. Computer-aided designing will come in handy there. Computer-aided designs will come in handy there. Right? Computer-aided designs will come in handy there. So you need to do the designing part. They are use computer-aided design. You design part, you upload it to the machine, you select what is the material to be used, it will print whatever that is needed. No, all the printers can't print all the type of items, but there are unique printers available to print what is needed. So now I did discuss this with you, but aerospace industry are using 3D printers today. Boeing is using 3D printed parts in their flights. BMW is using 3D printed parts in their vehicles. Jewelry is 3D printed. Healthcare, your body parts will be 3D printed. I mean, printing a heart now, don't think, now come to the idea. Printing a heart is very different compared to printing a nose. Printing a nose is very easy. There's no function in the nose. There's no function of this part, right? It's just there. But the heart is very, very different. So printing these two is very easy. So medical use of the 3D printing. Medical use in the 3D printing. So 3D printing is used heavily in so many different industries. Aerospace, healthcare, automobile industry. Right? Now, these are some of the examples how Emirates uses 3D printing. I mean, you can go watch that video. Not now. This is in that document. You click the video and watch it. I will also show this in the class. But then, please don't forget, there is a tradition now. At Dankoto, we do the traditional manufacturing for bulk orders. We don't 3D print bulk orders because 3D printing is expensive for a bulk order. Bulk we do from the traditional manufacturing, but we 3D print a sample. So when the volumes are low, it is better. When the volumes are high, traditional manufacturing is better. The advantage of the 3D printing is the customization is very, very easy. Now, just to give you someone is asking me to print a mug. Now, if you need 100,000 of these mugs, I will go for the traditional manufacturing. If you need 100,000 of these mugs, I'll go to the traditional manufacturing. But someone, a crazy guy is coming and tell me, Chan, I need this mug. But here I need a small mug. You know what I mean? No. Here I need a small container like this size where I can put sugar. So I need in the cup small size space available where I put sugar. And when I press it, sugar will go inside. Right? Because I don't want to give the sugar separate. I want another part here where the milk right? When I press a button, it will go inside. So that's a very different design of a cup. That sample, I will 3D print. I can't do the sample from the bulk, crazy. But if I need an order for 100,000 pieces of this, I will not use 3D printing, right? So likewise, my dear friends, industry is growing like crazy. Or GE Aviation, they are the people who are 3D printing the aircraft spare parts. This is a very famous part, or we call it a fuel nozzle. Is a very famous part that is 3D printed. Now, if you are trying to do it from the traditional manufacturing, this has some 21 separate units. You need to do the 21 separate units separately and plug it in. In the 3D printing, this damn thing is printed one time and finished. Much, much faster, much, much stronger, and much less heavier. Right? Much less heavier. So, my dear friends, 3D printing is happening like crazy in the world. 3D printing is happening like crazy in the world. Personalized healthcare. I mean, you want to print something you want to print one of these, you want to replace this with a 3D printed item, well, we can do it for you. There are companies who are doing it. Right? Now, this, I don't know whether you have heard of this city. Tel Aviv, have you heard about that city? Anyone? During the wartime, when Donald Trump is attacking, when Iran is attacking Israel, did you hear about this city, Tel Aviv? Anyone? Or you are busy studying for SEMA, not watching news. So these are Israel University. These are Israel University that I told you, trying to print a 3D printed heart. The technology is very, very different. We will surely talk about it as we go on. Not now. Right? General Electric is 3D printing spare parts for the aircraft manufacturer. BMW. So now this is what I call, my dear, KYP. This is the first document that we'll be going through, will be working with you. This is step number one. This is step number one called KYP. I'll be working with you. The first two stages of our game are KYP. Second one is KYI, know your industry. KYP, KYI, 1, 2, 3, 4. 3, 4 are deep dive and ground rules. Deep dive is we go to the depth of the pre-scene. We challenge what is given in the pre-scene. KYP, we learn what is given in the pre-scene. I make an effort to explain to you in a simpler way, with the photos, with the diagrams, with the industry examples, what is given in the pre-scene. So you understand the pre-scene. Deep dive, we challenge the pre-scene and say the pre-scene says this, but it can't be because in the real world it's happening differently. I think pre-scene is wrong here. Or we challenge what is given in the pre-scene. We try to go to the depth of what is given in the pre-scene. That is what we call deep dive. Deep dive. And the ground rules. Ground rules is what you should be doing on the exam day and what you should not be doing on the exam. So KYP, KYI 1 and 2, deep dive ground rules 3 and 4. 5 is simple. 5 is simple, straightforward, clear, because 5 is FICO activities. Based on the strategic level examiner, there are 5 core areas that they will give you questions from. Nothing else. Examiner is very, very clearly saying there are 5 core areas that I will give you questions from. So if there are 5 core areas that examiner is giving you questions from, why don't we learn and finish it off? That is what the stage number 5 is. That's what the stage number 5 is. Stage number 6 is what we call refresh theory. Refresh theory is the refresher on E3, P3, F3. Anyone who has done the self-assessment on E3, P3, F3, or anyone who is going to do the self-assessment on E3, P3, F3 very soon, say yes. Anyone who has done self-assessment for E3, P3, F3, anyone who is going to do it? Very good. So when you come for my case study class at Nanaska, we assume you don't have a good knowledge on E3, P3, F3. I mean, if you have a good knowledge, congratulations. If you have good knowledge, congratulations. But self-assessments are not exams. Self-assessment can be done in few hours if you want. Therefore, at Nanaska, we do the theoretical part related to E3, P3, F3 entirely again from zero. That is what you call stage number 6, which is a refresh theory. Refresh theory is stage number 6. 7 and 8 are very easy. 7 needs the practice mock paper that we give you for you to get an idea. That is mock number 1. Mock number 1, you are not going to do on the exam conditions. You are not going to do that on the exam engine. It's a practice paper. You take the question, you take the answer, you watch my video, we argue with each other and see why this answer is good, why this answer is bad, how do we improve it. That's for you to learn. But after practice, you have a section called reality. That is where you will get 10 mock papers for you to practice. At least try to practice 6 mock papers on the exam engine. We have an exam engine which is very similar to SEMA. So you can write the answers on the online platform. That is under reality section. You will learn a lot when you do that. But now you have Nanaska Edge. You have Nanaska Edge 2.0 for you. At least you have Nanaska Edge 2.0. Forget about it for the time being. Nanaska Edge will mark your papers in few minutes, give you a very much personalized feedback for you. Nanaska Edge is proprietary software of ours. With the 17 years of case study experience, we have developed a software for our own based on the AI. The book that I showed you is from the AI as well. We'll talk about this book if you have time. So that's a Nanaska Edge will mark your papers, but marking papers, getting the results is not really useful. What is really useful in the Edge is it will give you a personalized improvement plan. Improvement plan for you, specifically for you, will be given. So therefore, your life is becoming much, much easier. Your life is becoming much, much easier. Right? Because Nanaska Edge is instant, it will give the results fast, personalized, instant personalized, interactive. Interactive is Nanaska Edge 2.0. So Nanaska Edge 2.0 will start talking to you. It's your personalized student. I'm here. I'm here. When you go to Nanaska Edge, you can ask questions from me. I will answer directly. Right? But Nanaska Edge will be your training partner that is supporting for you. Right? So KYP, KYI, step number 1 and 2. Ground rules deep dive, step number 3, and ground rules deep dive, step number 3 and 4. Step number 5, 5 core activities. Step number 6, refresh theory, because you need to refresh E3, P3, F3. Step number 7 and 8, practice and reality. Step number 9 is the mix of everything. Step number 9 is a proper revision. Step number 9 has so many elements in it. It has a PI, possible issues. It has a power mock, because what are the questions that are coming from E3, P3, F3? It has a F3 separate mock paper. What are the F3 questions that are likely to come? It has so many things for you to learn. The step number 10 is individual support. The people fail and pass due to various different reasons. If you talk to 5 people who failed the paper, you can't give one advice for all 5 people. They need 5 different advices. That is why we depend on the individual support session. Of course, in the normal theory sessions, we will tell you the common advice, because 80% of the advice that you need are common. When I explain the industry, I don't need to tell you individually. No, the industry is the same. But then individual support will come in very, very importantly in various different ways. Number 1, after each mock paper, we have an individual follow-up session with you to tell you what your strengths, what your weaknesses in the paper. Human. Our lecturers will sit down with you. Number 1. You have a Nanaska Edge personalized improvement plan, again a personalized, that is coming from Nanaska Edge. Then we have a human core. Then we have group discussions. We get 5 people into one group and talk to you about 5 people in one group, talk to you about your strengths and weaknesses, because what I realize is when you get 5 people in the group, they learn from each other. They learn from each other, right? And towards it, we look at students' answer review. So we can say, look here, these 10 students, these are the strengths, these are the weaknesses. We don't tell the name of the student, but that's again the personalized learning for you, where you argue, wow, this is the weaknesses that I have, and that weakness is not with others. What is happening? Wow, this is a common weakness that is there. So these are the 10 steps of our course. KYP, KYI, ground rules, deep dive, FICO activities, refresh theory, practice, reality, revision kottu, and the last one is on the one-to-one support. Last one is on the one-to-one support. These are the 10 steps that we are trying to go through with you. Industry is covered. I personally know the industry very well. We are connected to all the industry leaders across the world. You will see the videos coming from them, starting with my video with my chat with Nisanga Varnapura, who was a great gentleman in the country related to 3D printing. He's not in the industry business now, but he had a superb start. Right? He has a superb start. He pursued his other interest after, but he came to Nanaska, did a discussion with us, because we use him at Dankotu as well. So we are connected to each other, right? So industry part is taken care of. The trouble, my dear, is examiner always tells us why people fail. Now, this is the examiner's report. I just taken May and August 2025. We can take any paper. Examiner's report highlight what the common weaknesses are. That's what that we need to master, and we are coming up with a new program for that. For August 2026, first time we will have it, where we realize the common weaknesses that had been highlighted by the examiner needs to be corrected. So I'm not trying to spend a lot of time, but just trying to show you, examiner always complain, right? Examiner always complain on one thing that has to be corrected. As always, key to achieving the passing mark or better is to answer the question as said. Examiner is saying, you don't answer my question, that is why you fail. Which is true. Not that you don't read the exam day question. You do read it. But when you try to answer, you answer slightly a different question. Right? Failure to do so is one of the main reasons candidate failed the case study. Examiner is saying, read the questions and the scene setting pages carefully before attempting. It's like an insult. I am sure people read the question and answer, but examiner is saying that why? It doesn't look so when you look at some of the answers, how to correct it. And the judgment is coming in a big way now. So I was at the SEMA Global Council. These two books are from that. One is Alive Inside. This gentleman, Emmanuel, he came and presented to the council about the AI, Alive Inside. You should read. Another book that you should read is How AI Will Change Your Life. Patrick is a guy who had been predicting the future. Right? These two books are very critical in the AI world. SEMA is taking it very serious. They are doing a program called Rise 2040. They're looking at what the future is going to be, and the syllabuses will change accordingly. Judgment is an area where much higher priority will be given. I don't think there's any other institute on the planet working on the future of the profession like that. This gentleman who wrote the book came and did the presentation. Of course, I got the book and read the book. But what I'm trying to tell you is that future is very different. With SEMA, you are much secure because we are genuinely looking at under the program of RISE 2040, what the future of the 2040 is going to be. A superb gentleman called Tom is doing that. Yes, he's a very senior member. He's done an amazing job. There's a report published. The report is available on the SEMA website. If you are lazy to go to the website, if you're lazy to go to the website, we can see a copy of the report here. And I just want to tell you that you're secure as far as the future is concerned. So, Nanaska, our purpose is to build better leaders. Our purpose is to build better leaders. So what we do is, we ensure you pass the case study very well, but then we do a lot of things to ensure you become a leader. You will see a lot of AI sessions that are coming up from us. You will see our structure is getting changed based on their free help for you will be available. More than that, for your career, Nanaska Connect will be very important for us to connect you to the jobs. And we have a Nanaska help desk now. Whenever you have a trouble at office, if you're willing to if you need our support, there is a free support available. So we believe in building better leaders, which means not only helping you to pass the case study, but to genuinely support you to be a leader. So you should connect with me on, if possible, not that you should, if possible, you should connect with me on the LinkedIn, because I'll start posting from next few days some of the common things that will be important for everyone. So this is my LinkedIn link. Please click that and get connected. And all that are about the future. Step number 1 is nothing else. Let's not concentrate on anything else. Let's only concentrate on 3D printing manufacturer, strategic level case study. How do we get the pass mark in the August 2026? That's our first priority now. We are ready from our side. We believe if you fail, we fail. Therefore, we'll be doing whatever that is required. We'll be doing whatever that is required. Whenever you need some additional sessions, whenever you need some additional support, we are here to give it to you. So we will do whatever that is needed for you to get that, whatever that is needed for you to get the pass mark, we'll be doing. Some of you all should go for a very high mark. It'll be a nice ending. You're going to end the SEMA journey here, the student journey. Nice ending to be the pass marks in the world. Why don't you give it a 5? We're not pushing very hard for you. But if anyone is ready, then our job is to help you, surely. Why don't you set a very high target? I'm sure everyone at home will be happy. All your friends will be surprised. They will not believe it. We might get an official confirmation from SEMA again. But it'll be a nice way to end your SEMA journey. So I'm Channa Gunawardana. I am the lead lecturer for strategic level case study. I'll do about 70-80% of it. Mr. Ali Rahim will come, who is doing a better job than me sometimes. He will come in. So both of us are fighting to ensure that you get the best service. He will be coming for maybe 15% of it, and we will be giving you the complete support. From this time, you have another gentleman. He will not be teaching you. He's a SEMA member. He will not be teaching you, but he's our manager academic excellence. He's our manager academic excellence. He's like a third party eye for you. Whenever you need something that you could not say that in the class, or you said that it did not work, he will be in touch with you, will introduce you to him on the very first day of the class, manager academic excellence. His job is to support you for your academic excellence. Right? So that's my introduction. Please send an email to info@nanaska.com just now and get registered ASAP. info@nanaska.com. Email address is here, right? My mobile number is there. You can send me a WhatsApp message if you want any support or help. We are ready to do whatever that is required for you. And I will request you to join ASAP. Come for the sessions. Let's do it together. And our target is to ensure all of you all will pass the SCS in August 2020. All of you, 100%. 100% pass rate for August 2026 is our target together. Is our target together. Thank you very much. I have 7 more minutes to answer your question. Please type your questions now. 7 more minutes. Please type your question. Please type your questions. My mobile number is there if you want to send me a WhatsApp message on anything. But I'm sure there are question number came. Where did you guys answer? Thank you, sir. Okay, thank you very much. But you should join and play the game right. Play the game right. Nanaska H 2.0. Hopefully you will be able to see it, and that will be a genuine personalized assistant for you. If it doesn't come for you all, very unfortunate. You will never see that again. But Nanaska Edge is available for you. Any more questions? I have 6 more minutes. I joined late. Can I have the video to watch later? So, Samuel, you are talking about today's video? Yes, available. It's available. That's not a big deal. But do one thing, Samuel. Register fast. Then you go to the LMS. When you go to the LMS, you can be ahead of me. Before I start teaching KYP, you can go through the KYP video. I want you all to be ahead of me. Antonio Fernando, I'll be joining from New Zealand and looking forward to go through the live session. And super. I'm looking forward to come to New Zealand. Good that you're joining from New Zealand. And we will work together. So if no questions, we should not waste time because my mobile number is there. I'm finishing 5 minutes early. I will add that 5 minutes to my first session. You owe me 5 minutes now. Before I stop, I told you there are 10 steps in the class. Can you name the 5 steps? You don't need to write the full name, even short name, 5 steps. Let's see how many people can name the first 5 steps. First 5, not any 5. First 5 in 10 seconds. Start now. Let's see how many people can tell me the first 5 steps in 10 seconds. Starting now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now there are a lot of answers coming. KYP, KYI, ground rules, deep dive, co-activities. That's the first 5 that we are going to work with you. We will have a tracker coming in for you where you are compared to an average student. Are you ahead? Are you behind? We will start pushing you heavily. We'll have a team who is calling you, talking to you and asking, have you not done the mock? Why is that when you can do the mock? Because we think you are busy and our job is over. We will be mindful about the time zones. Antonio is from New Zealand. We will ensure we won't call him at 4 a.m. But let's try to work together. Thank you very much. All the very best. See you next Saturday. Please send me a WhatsApp message. Now, give me a name, where you work, where are you? I'll save your details so we can start fresh. We can start strong. Objective is to ensure all of you all pass first time in August 2026. Your SCS case study and say goodbye to Nanaska. Never see us again in a classroom. Goodbye to SEMA as a student. Start your learning journey from that with SEMA. Thank you very much. Take care. Bye.